As often I state, we support our player. The situation that we thought with what the Miller kid thought he did kind of go off balance. But again, the criteria that the league takes into account, obviously they felt it was warranted, and we have a different opinion of it. But they don't take our opinions waver in one way or another, so you accept it and you move on.
Right, it's your fourth player of the regular season suspended, 5 if you count Kessel. I mean, with the amount of players you have injured, I don't imagine this is something that you want to see, losing players like this too. Again,
it's another challenge, but the challenges are bountiful as we go forward into the season. But again, somebody else now gets an opportunity to fill those minutes, and some other people get a chance to play the power play and the penalty killing, and to chew, the 23 to 28 minutes that Dion plays night in, night out. And that's the way we have to approach it, and that's the way we brought it to our players. It sees this as an opportunity.
It could be that Joffrey Lupul looks like he could be.
Yeah, it looks like Loops is going to be a game time decision. If we don't have any setbacks between today and tomorrow, then it looks like he'll be able to play.
What has Jake Gardner given you in the last few games where he's been able to play upwards of 25 minutes a night, Randy?
We think that he's calmed down in his play from a turnover standpoint and trying to do too much at high risk, high reward. I thought, though, in the last game, and I talked to him about it, that he did it too many times where he was in a tough area, specifically the offensive blue line and the defensive blue line. If you make mistakes there, those are ones that are really difficult to recover from.
When you lose someone like Dion on your blue line for a couple games, that's a big physical player that eats up a lot of minutes. You juggled your pairings out there today. What can you honestly expect when you lose someone that is obviously your best defenseman out there for that game?
I don't know if I haven't been honest. You said honestly? You're asking me to be honest? You mean you doubt that I have been honest in all my assessments? Here or there? Yeah. I think that the reality, it's we have to have somebody or a group share in the responsibility. I don't think at this point, maybe we could look at one player or two players or three players. I think, again, the level of our defense play has to go up. Now we're taxing it to a point where we're going to have to ask more of players that traditionally don't play those minutes. They play part of those minutes, but they're going to play the brunt of those minutes. So that's the reality of it. And honestly, I believe that there are people that are capable of doing it, and our window is to view that will be tomorrow night against the LA Kings.
Randy, suspensions aside, I mean, your team takes a lot of penalties. I know Kadri was saying the other day that there's a discipline issue with guys. Maybe how do you teach guys? How do you coach guys to stay out of the penalty box and stop taking foolish penalties? Not all foolish, but some.
I just think, again, we talk about the type of penalties that you take and where they are happening on the ice. If you take a penalty to prevent a goal, or you take a penalty in the defensive zone where somebody's got a clear-cut scoring chance, you take a penalty to defend a teammate, usually those ones, they'll wash out. But the ones that are 200 feet from your net and the hooking, and those are which we would deem at sometimes the lazy side of it, then those are unacceptable.
When you look at Lupo possibly coming back, barring any setbacks, what does he bring as a lift to your team that you might need in those 2
Well, we need quality player. He's a top 6 player in the league, and we believe that Loops can come in and give us that skating ability, that forechecking ability, leadership. But again, I always caution people because the longer a player is out, the more valuable he seems to become to your roster. And that's not diminishing that Loops is valuable to us, but we just don't want to expect too much, and I don't want him to come out and try and do too much, because that usually leads to over exuberance, and trying to do too much kind of is a negative versus being a positive.
Were you surprised that there was no penalty on an upset and then you get suspended afterwards?
No, I'm not surprised. I think those things have happened too frequently now to be surprised about it. I think, again, I was somewhat surprised that there was nothing on the Domingo, the reception that he got, I think, from, is it Seidenberg? But they deem it wasn't a legal hit. So what can you do? You move on? don't always agree with what goes on at the league level, but I said they have a criteria. They view these things differently. They don't tell me how to do my job, so I don't tell them how to do theirs.